Hello and welcome to Double Talk.
One and a half?
Yeah, I'm Mark Steffen.
What does that mean? I'm Michael Mandel. I don't know what half the things on this show means, and probably neither of you. It's spring.
It is spring. Spring is sprung this week.
And all the spring holidays are here. St. Spring Day. Do you remember St. Patrick's Day?
Yes.
Well, if you remember it, then you weren't there.
Well, we seem to have recovered from it okay.
Yes.
But we're going to, in fact, we're still extending St. Patrick's Day onto this show.
You know who had a good St. Patrick's Day?
Who?
M5, I hear.
I hear they did have a wonderful time over there. We got a good report from M5.
We love that place.
At St. Patty's Day. It was packed, but they were still able to accommodate people who came in. Big parties of people came in.
We love Marcy. She tries to be helpful. We're hoping she's going to get behind Negroni Day or Negroni Week, June 2nd to June 9th. Those of you, I may have talked about that before on the show, Negronis, gin, vermouth, Campari, classic drink.
Yes.
There's
That's M5. That's
I think Chris is there. Somebody's there.
And
that was party time. That's the Liars, one of my favorite groups in town.
They were playing there Monday nights. Monday night.
It wouldn't be Monday night because
St. Patty's Day.
They were They were open St. Patty's Day.
Oh, Saturday.
It was Saturday.
They were doing St. Patty's Day on Saturday because they're closed Monday.
Yeah, so it was a big Saturday.
Yeah.
But thank goodness we had St. Patty's Day weekend. We're going to show you a clip of
some Irish whiskey
last year.
Many of which you can get at M5. Some of which, anyway.
Tullamore Dew. What do we have? Michael Collins. No, this is the second one. When we mixed it with vermouth.
Yes, yeah, Michael Collins. It was.
Michael Collins and
the third one.
Kilbeggan. You'll hear about it. We're going to
let's roll that in.
Roll into that and learn how to make it. Hello there. I'm Michael Mandel.
Mark Steffen here. We're in the secret tasting chamber that only Michael and I know the existence of.
Especially today, we're the only ones in this secret place. And as we did last year, a whole year ago, we did our first Irish whiskey tasting. We are trying some new Irish whiskeys that we didn't have last year. This is Kilbeggan, which nobody around here seems to know about. It's made in the world's oldest distillery. We'll be also tasting Michael Collins, which is the only Irish whiskey made in a distillery that's independent of any larger distilleries, and people's favorites, Tullamore Dew, which is on sale now for under $20 at 2 cans. So it's worth picking up. This is on sale at
Walgreens too as well.
Walgreens, yes. So we have our cameraman here.
Should I not put the lid back on?
No, because we're going to start first with the Kilbeggan.
All right.
This is Irish whiskey. I think my idea of Irish whiskey, it's somewhere between bourbon and Scotch. It's a little sweet, a little smoky. Sounds like a...
prove it.
We'll prove it. We're just doing little dabs here.
Okay. Well, here's to St. Patrick.
Hi, and the Irish. May they live and be well, even though we now have an Argentinian Pope.
We do?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
He's going to be called St. Francis of the Sissies. No,
that's the other guy.
that's somebody else. Assisi. What does it smell like? It smells a little like bourbon, right? Candy.
It's got a certain sweetness to it, a pungentness that I like.
You know, this is very smooth. And
It
doesn't have that super candy-ish flavor. It's got... Tastes pretty close to a nice, smooth Scotch. I think it tastes like Dewar's.
Now they say it's the world's oldest distillery.
It's the world's oldest distillery. That's pretty good.
But these are all blends, aren't they?
Yeah. They do make... Redbreast is... No, I think Connemara is a single malt Scotch. And the only place you can get that is Toucan, $38. Redbreast, which I think is a blend, it might be a single malt, it's $57 at Toucan. That's the top of the Irish whiskey totem pole.
Here in town, anyway. Well, I'll get things rolling with this one.
Good.
Finishing up.
This is Tullamore Dew. Some people, I'll look at your pour as opposed to my pour. Give the poor guy back there a pour.
We'll give our camera operator.
Our cameraman. So Tullamore is a classic. People love it. My wife knows somebody who really, this is his favorite. So cheers to people who
Cheers.
work and are Irish. And who aren't Irish and work and drink.
Okay.
Oh, this has one of those absolute vodka aromas that sort of sterilizes your entire gum teeth.
It's got a stronger finish, I think, than Kilbeggan.
Wow, it's a lot more. It's got the same amount of alcohol, but it doesn't have the same sweetness.
Lingers on your
Sweeter,
tongue.
maybe.
With a slight bite to it.
Yeah, it's got a little bite, huh? Oh, you're rushing on to the other thing. Wait till you see what we have for the second part of the show, which is the exciting, weird part. What are you drinking there?
Here, when you're ready, go ahead.
Thank you. I can never keep up with you with this. This is why I still have all these bottles left over. I don't know what's with me. It just takes me too long to kick back the Irish whiskey.
Well, I'm glad you brought new bottles that didn't have any dust on them from your house.
You know, had we done the port tasting, that would have been a little...
Yeah, we had to wipe those bottles
We
off.
tried that yesterday, and the bottom of it had, what, like half a ton of...
sediment.
Cork cartilage. It was, you know, the lees.
This is, of course, all in the name of
smooth.
research.
I only like tastings. I don't like drinking stuff.
Irish research.
You got your Michael Collins?
I got my Michael Collins.
Michael Collins was the only one we did last year, so let's see how it fares.
Of course, Michael Collins was actually a person of Irish history
Yes, he was...
in the struggles against the Troubles.
The struggle, yes, he was a figure of the independence, loved by people like William Butler Yeats and James Joyce. They loved
Yes,
Michael
and
Collins.
portrayed by Liam Neeson in the movie Michael Collins.
Well, you know, if Liam Neeson plays somebody, that means he's supposed to be a good guy, right?
Like Rob Roy.
Yeah. Or the guy that Mel Gibson played with a half a face, but that was Scottish.
Yeah, it was Scottish. I like Michael Collins.
Whoa, this is very smooth. It's smooth. You know what? This almost tastes like Scotch. Just Scotch. It doesn't have any of that sweetness that Irish whiskeys usually have. So, actually what we have here are 3 Irish whiskeys without any of that sweet aftertaste that is so common in them.
That's true.
So, this one I think had the most flavor overall.
And you like this one the best.
You like which one the best?
Our offstage.
This one.
Purveyor.
And this is number 2. Mine too. It's got a smooth, scotchy flavor. This has a smooth vodka flavor.
I'm not sure which I like. Let me start over.
Okay.
No, I'll do that later.
We're on to the second segment involving real cocktail glasses, and that's because we actually mixed up cocktails based on these things. One of the more common things that people do, like with the Rob Roy and Manhattans, are to mix dark alcohol like Scotch or bourbon with a sweet vermouth, and we've pre-mixed these. I don't know how we're gonna pour them out. Hopefully, without just pour them out. So we've done half of Martini and Rossi, although it just says Martini
Sweet
red
vermouth.
sweet vermouth. Red vermouth is always sweet. White vermouth is used for martinis, and a dash of Angostura bitters. Bitters are getting to be very popular these days, just because it adds a little tang and a little bite to your drink. So we're going to have to hope that not too much ice gets through here. We'll even these up. Maybe you're the even or upper guy here. So we have enough. So what happens is you end up with a mixed drink. In fact, this is called the Paddy cocktail.
Now, would you drink this ordinarily with a twist or an olive or an onion?
I think this would probably go with, I think, a lemon twist.
That's not bad.
You know, that adds a whole world of flavor to it. I have a list of 6 different cocktails that use both Irish whiskey and sweet vermouth. The first one's a Paddy cocktail. So it's equal amounts of Irish whiskey and sweet vermouth with a little bitters. The Black Manhattan is about 1/6 sweet vermouth to Irish whiskey. The others are far more complicated, some involving Irish mist and green chartreuse. That would be the Tipperary cocktail. Danny's Delight has 4 different things, including ginger wine and lemonade.
We're not going to attempt those.
We're not going to do that. It's too hard. We're doing 1-to-1 here.
We're going to. This is the same mixture with all 3 whiskeys.
Yes.
With Irish whiskey, vermouth, and bitters.
We just lost the top of our shaker. Just got excited and popped off. So, do you like the idea of having sweet vermouth?
Yeah, and I think a little onion in here would work.
Last night I did a Negroni type thing with a peel, an orange peel. The orange peel makes it a little bit fruity. Sweeter, fruity, not bad. Okay.
Now, do we know which one is which, Michael?
Yes, I did the same thing. So that was a Kilbeggan. I'm trying to keep this in order. That was a Kilbeggan Paddy cocktail recipe. Well, of course it's recipe. Mixture. Ooh, that looks a little darker.
Now, you can get all of these whiskeys in stores locally, even though they're Irish whiskeys. Many of them are on sale right now because it's St. Paddy's
because
week.
St. Paddy's Day. Today's the last day. Well, tomorrow they don't sell booze until noon, but you still have time. So
Right. But
Tullamore Dew is under $20 at 2 cans.
Most of the Irish people I know will be celebrating Saturday night so they can sleep it off Sunday.
There's a big party. They're not advertisers, but there's a big party at De La Vega that looks pretty darn good.
Oh.
Yes. Ooh, this is very good. You know what? This mixes really well.
This is livelier, isn't it?
Yes. It's
Why is that?
I don't know. It's like with when you do margaritas, you don't want to do a dark, tasty thing. You want a light tequila, like one of my favorites. What is one of my favorites? Usually a Blanco or a silver tequila.
Silver, yeah. You don't want to go with the gold.
Silver Herradura is what I like for margarita. And this is sort of like, it doesn't have that moodiness underneath, but it has a sort of bright little flavor. So Tullamore Dew and vermouth, hey.
It goes great with the sweet vermouth.
Yes, works great.
I'd drink this.
Did you name one? I know one thing you wouldn't drink.
What?
Jose Cuervo.
You're right about that. That's for tourists.
Oh, yeah. We were going to do a tequila tasting, but we didn't see the relevance.
We'll get around to it.
So this third one will be the Paddy cocktail with Michael Collins. Would you want more?
Well, go ahead. I don't want to hog it all.
Okay, I'll give you a little more.
A little scotch more.
Okay, give him a little more.
And then
okay.
You don't want to be too...
Michael Collins. It's just good to say that Michael Collins is... You could say any word like that, but the word Michael Collins.
Well, now this is not to be confused with the Tom Collins.
No, it's not. Nothing to do with it at all. Tom was not in the Revolution. He was out squeezing lemons and limes for his drinks.
Again, a whole completely different aspect to it.
Yeah, this is not exciting.
It's a little more Dew, I think, is the winner for this recipe.
Oh, that's kind of funny because as our flavor... What does that teach us? That there are hidden treasures to be found when you mix things together. So I think here's to you an Irish day.
But Michael, our bitters ingredients were not precise on any of these.
No, but they were equal. They were equal to each one. And also, when people say a dash of bitters, you know what that means?
What, 2 drops?
It doesn't mean anything. I mean, as long as you put a little bit in.
It's a random amount.
Huh.
One more week.
Yes, and if you haven't tried that cocktail yet, go ahead and try it. We should probably take a commercial break now, do you think?
We taking a break?
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break now.
Producer, should we take a break?
Yeah,
Paddy cocktail, vermouth, Irish whiskey, Angostura bitters.
You can't beat it.
Welcome to La Buena Vida Women's Club, located away from the crowds but close to home. Come in throughout the day for Jazzercise, the world's dance fitness leader for nearly 40 years. Treat yourself to a relaxing massage, or unwind in the lounge area or outside on the balcony with friends. La Buena Vida Women's Club, located and designed with women in mind. For information, call Diane at 650-9721.
Hey, you, come here. Do you want to know the news? The Lost Cruises channel is now on 7 days a week, so keep it right here.
Celebrate, celebrate, Fiesta Motors.
Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there.
Celebrate, Fiesta Motors, where buying a car is always a celebration.
And we're back.
Yes.
Double
Just in
talk.
time. Man, we flew in here from where were we?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And so now,
That Caribbean island.
right now, the arts community in Las Cruces is rolling along. There's things happening.
There are.
There's only one play in town, though. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But Las Cruces has last month was Arts Month, and there were all kinds of activities. We're coming up at the Arts Center down there by the railroad tracks.
Railroad tracks.
What's the name of that place, Michael?
The West End Depot.
Yes, there's all kinds of artistic events going on.
Next Friday at 7 o'clock at the West End Depot is Women's History Month. There are the poets, many poets that I work with will be doing a poetry reading. Women poets are far more exciting because it's like that. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that?
That's poetic.
What's that from?
Well, that's
Somebody else?
That's Brunhilde.
Yes.
And you know it's not over until she has to sing.
I can tell that.
And you wouldn't want to miss that.
I wouldn't want to get run over by that.
But also, there's going to be a great puppet show written and directed by Teddy Aspen at the Depot Arts Center.
I knew he
month.
had his hand up something.
Yes, and he'll be filling in for you, Michael, while you're gone.
He will be.
For one of the weeks.
I'm glad. Good.
And for the other weeks, we'll have a different host.
If you remember to get the discs, I will put them on our running commentary of
Yes,
shows.
of course. Now, patronize the arts. We're here. We try to promote the arts as
Don't
much as we can.
patronize me. You
Well,
can patronize the arts. Don't
patronize the
me.
arts. One of our goals here to do on this show is to promote the arts as much as we can.
The art of cocktail making.
And,
But other arts.
There are many other arts.
Yes.
And besides mixology.
Yes, which is now a
And,
TV show.
I participate in as many of them as I can.
What?
In my own
What,
little way.
painting?
My
Painting?
own little way.
Your sister's a painter.
Yes.
That's the visual arts.
Well, I'm in more in the performing
You're in
arts.
the verbal performing arts.
And the visual filmic arts.
I'm in the crossword puzzle doing art.
You're in the
Yes.
you're in the
I'm in
F
the
arts.
Yeah, the old farts. I'm the old fart artist.
So patronize the arts. It'll do you good.
The Donian Arts Council that you're alluding to too is having their annual what is it? They give out awards for people around town. The annual awards show is coming up.
Yes, that's coming up.
you look that one up?
I'm not.
Probably 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And also, let's see. Well, tonight over at the Rio Grande Theater,
What?
there's a documentary film on
50 to 1?
prisoners of war.
Oh.
Loretta Swit will be there, one of the narrators of the film.
She comes here often, doesn't she?
Yeah, she'll be there for all 3 screenings of it.
She was just here as Eleanor Roosevelt,
She was. Yes.
and now she's here.
she's
she
back.
must have bought a condo.
Yes.
You know, when prices were cheap.
Well, how else can you afford to live here?
I don't know. It's
And
impossible.
also,
Price of living here is so high.
now then there's also the scientific arts, which allowed people to invent the atomic bomb in New Mexico. Back then all bombs were in black and white.
Did you leave a vermouth bottle there in 1944? Because I think that's what is giving vermouth to all the dry martinis in New Mexico.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little known fact that a bottle of vermouth was left up there on the tower when they set the bomb off.
That's a known fact.
Which meant it was vaporized into the atmosphere.
Your dad knew about it, right?
So if you want to make a dry martini, you just hold your martini glass up in the air and do like
and
this.
you got it.
And that's all the vermouth you need. You add the gin, and you've got the driest martini known to man.
The driest, yes.
Yes.
The driest in the world. The world.
Now, also coming
What is
up,
that? Oh, that's the
that's the monument
Trinity.
at Ground Zero, at Trinity site. It's going to be open April 5th.
Have you been there?
I've been there. I was there.
We did a poetry
We were
reading
there. I was there that time.
Yes.
All the poets showed up and read poetry at Ground Zero.
It's worth seeing.
That's the bomb.
They have this weird section in a very low kind of a greenhouse, which is windows, that they cut off from the rest of the terrain to show what it looked like without anything happening since the bomb. So it had the same whatever, fauna, flora,
I
whatever,
see.
and then everything else is pretty much dust. I remember when we went there, I took my daughter, who was really short at that time, with her other friends, and so they got a good look at all the insects, and she managed to say, these insects look bigger than regular ones. So who knows if there was any lasting effect.
Well, also there was a farmhouse where they actually assembled the bomb the day before. That apparently is not going to be part of the open house there anymore. They're just having the site itself open to the public.
Which is good enough. That farmhouse is being used for milking cows now. The milking cows, the cows are gigantic. They're just amazing.
Now also, this weekend, actually, tomorrow, is the Bataan Death March at White Sands Missile Range.
Monica, you gonna be in that?
And this commemorates the actual Bataan Death March that the Japanese imposed upon the American servicemen in World War II in the Philippines, most of whom were with the New Mexico National Guard. So a great deal of those poor guys in that death march were from New Mexico. And there are still a few survivors left, and they show up every year. I attended it 10 or 12 years ago. I was covering it for Men's Health magazine. And they do a 24-mile march.
Didn't you take a scooter?
And
were you on a scooter when you did
no,
it?
I jumped in the media van and had them take me around. And but it's quite a thing, and some people actually do it with full pack, just to experience that. And so that's something to see, even if you're not participating in it.
I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't participate?
No.
It's a nice walk.
Not even if I was forced by a Japanese army. I wouldn't do it.
They'd kill you.
It's really hot there. Hot and muggy.
It's very hot, and it tends to be awfully windy because it takes place,
Ooh, there's a guy
in
jogging.
March.
You can jog there.
You can jog. Some people jog the whole thing, like a marathon.
It is a marathon, yeah.
Part of the problem is much of it is through soft sand because you're going through an arroyo, and the sand is very soft at times. And some of it is you're going up a hill toward the mountains because it's near the backside of the Oregon Mountains, part of it. But it's quite a sight to see. Many servicemen do this.
Don't you have to sign up for it ahead
You do
of
have
time?
to sign up.
Yes,
It's too late to sign up now.
But you could watch it on probably YouTube.
Somebody, I'm sure, will film part of it after it's over.
It's always good to watch people marching.
But that's going on at 6 o'clock. It starts at 6 a.m., at least sign up at 6 a.m. And they probably start at 7.
And don't worry, you won't see Mark there.
Well, no.
He'll still be having his coffee.
Well, I went there, and that was enough for me.
Once is enough, yeah.
Yes. Now, also on today and
else?
Sunday,
You didn't put too much down on this list.
the movie 50 to 1, which was shot in the Sutherland Park, Las Cruces, New Mexico area. That's the film about the
Horse.
horse that was a 50 to 1 long shot from Sutherland Park. They entered it into the Kentucky Derby because it qualified barely, and it wound up winning the Kentucky Derby with the odds of 50 to 1.
We're not ready for that one yet.
And so they shot the film here, and the film was finished. They had the premiere of it the other night in Albuquerque. I don't know why Albuquerque and not Las Cruces. But today, up at the Tell Shore, not the Tell Shore, the Cineport 10, they're showing the movie with the director and some of the actors in it.
There's the actor with the crutches.
That's Skeet Ulrich.
Yeah. He's on somewhat
He's been in a lot of movies. And the director, Jim Wilson, who is Kevin Costner's producer of many, many films.
I won a lot of money on that. I mean, I would have had I bet on it. Yeah, I would have.
Yeah, so that's going to be there. It's already sold out. In fact, they added a second showing at 10:30 in the morning. So 10:30 this morning is running right now, and then at 11:30 this morning. But you can still get up there perhaps for the question and answer session at the end of the movie. And then tomorrow they're going to be down at Sunland Park with the actual horse itself.
Really? The horse is still alive?
It's called Mind That Bird.
Yeah.
Well, of course it's still alive. It's got the stud now.
Well, it's stud, but it's probably on crutches, just like that guy. It's so old.
Yeah.
Did you see a horse on crutches? It's not a comfortable sight.
I saw one in my pajamas.
What was a horse doing in pajamas?
I'll never know. And also, speaking of the arts, there is one play in town right now that is running called The Women of Lockerbie.
Which is about Scotland, right? Is that what
Yes,
happened?
the airliner that was blown up by a terrorist bomb over Scotland. They were hoping it would blow up out in the ocean and nobody would ever find it. But it blew up over Scotland and crashed on Scottish land. And
It's got great reviews. The Bulletin gave it a great review.
Did it?
Rabbi Kane gave it a great review. He said it's one of the best plays he's ever seen here. He said it was great.
No, that was a different play. I thought the review couldn't come out until this week.
We got a preview.
Because it's only opened last week.
He saw it. It should be. We get a preview of what he writes.
Oh, I see.
Yes, you have to be on a special list. So he
I'm
did a great review. And since this is Saturday, you will also have read this review. So make your reservations. The number there is 523-1223.
It runs for 2 more weekends.
8 o'clock.
Friday, Saturday, and Sundays.
Sundays at 2 or 2:30. Yes.
Otherwise, 8 o'clock at night.
So what else is happening?
That's about it. We're pretty much out of time, aren't we?
No, I think we got some time left.
Do we really?
Yes. Let's talk about food.
What about it?
What you been eating lately? I finally had a meal that I enjoyed at Savoy.
At Savoy?
Yes, halibut with tiger shrimp
That sounds
on the
good.
side.
I had a nice lunch at the Shed on Valley Drive.
The Shed is good, but
They
it's
make
always
very-
closed when I go over there.
Well, it's closed on
Mondays
Tuesday.
and
Tuesday.
is that what it is? Yes.
Yes, but they make great Mexican food. I tell you, their enchiladas are some of the best in town.
I've heard.
Yes, they
That's
are,
good.
green and red.
Well, once they change the Shed into a Mexican name, then I'll know to think about it when I want Mexican food. They do have good breakfast.
The Ched.
Here, the Ched.
Yeah.
That's how you go. Well, hope to see you there for breakfast and or lunch.
Great huevos rancheros, I'll tell you that.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good to get a good huevos rancheros.
And
Okay.
so anyway, we'll be back
See you
next
guys.
week without Michael.
Without me, so it'll be
So-
a lot more pleasant.
So please tune in.
Is Teddy next week?
Yeah, let's see.
You don't know. You'll find out. Tune in next
No,
week
it's not next
to find
week.
out.
I'm not going to tell you. We're going to have a surprise guest next week.
Oh, surprise
to
guest.
replace you.
Okay. I can't wait.
And so
To see
join
it.
us next week right here on Double Talk.